this $300,000 beat. DDG is claiming that two producers are extorting him. Extortion is a strong word, and he vows to destroy their lives. It's crazy, right? DDG made counter offers for D1. 2,000 to 5,000. 2,000 to 5,000. I would take the 5,000, man. That's
get a couple points, dude. 50% pub. You're cranking. No one registered the song either, bro.
So all day I've been getting tweets from producers asking me to talk about this. I didn't even know what they were talking about, so I had to look up some information about this whole scandalous situation going on, this $300,000 beat. DDG is claiming that two producers are extorting him. Extortion is a strong word, and he vows to destroy their lives. It's crazy, right? So I didn't want to talk about it because I had no information on it. I see that you have information on it. And I believe the producers are BeatStars producers.
Yeah, they're the one I believe is a more active member than the other. I did not know them personally before this, just to be clear. But I mean, if you listen to DDG's stream, he clearly says they had a license on BeatStars, he said, for $30. So obviously my assumption is that he bought it from there or saw it there. Don't really know. But I was in the same boat as you, bro. I was getting hit up all last night into this morning because we have members all over the world. So I woke up to like literally 50 messages like, Mike, what do you think about this? And I was like, what are you guys talking about? Because I have my own other issues I have to deal with. You know what I mean? And working with tons of creators, like we have our own problems. I have a friend. I'm not going to name names and get into situations, but they were an attorney in Philadelphia where I'm from for a long time. And I met them almost 20 years ago. And they taught me a lot about publishing in the music industry. They were one of the biggest attorneys in Philadelphia. They eventually changed their strategy of their business and became a sports agent. And now are one of the biggest ones in the world. If I told you some of their clients, I'd give it away, but monster-sized clients. To my knowledge, he is not engaging in music and entertainment attorney things with stuff like this, right? He's not engaged. Like he's dealing with, I'm sure, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of contracts with his people. So when I heard that this was a sports agent, it made me very interested because I kind of know the amount of work and time that goes into doing something like this.
Okay, so sorry. I know you're like ready to way too far ahead. Yeah, you're ready to jump to 100 and we're at zero still because there are people who are completely in the dark about what's going on. So tell me if I got this right. Mm-hmm. DDG and Plaqueboymax probably lease a beat online for $30. They released, maybe.
I'm also hearing they found this beat on a stream possibly, and then said we'll pay you $500 or I don't know, man. See, I don't know the full logistics, but I'll try to give you as much information as I know. But go ahead.
So I've heard 30 and I've heard 500 both. Who knows? Maybe they did 30 and then they exceeded the streaming limit on the lease. And so then they did 500 to buy the exclusive. Mm-hmm. Either way, they had some sort of arrangement where they paid the producers initially for the license to use that beat for a song. They released the song. It's DDG, of course, so the song's going to probably do well, but it does better than anyone expected. It gets upwards of how many millions of streams? Like 25 million?
It was about almost 24 million on Luminate today when I checked. And that's 2 days behind, so it could be a little bit more than that.
So let's just round up to 25 million.
Yeah, and it's averaging about 500 to 800,000 streams a day from what I saw. But it was going down, but I don't know if that's because something was pulled or not, because I wasn't able to verify that. But go ahead.
So the song's doing well. Everything's all good. Then they shoot a video to it. They release the video. So the beat that was made by two producers, that's what's used for the song. One of the producers' managers decides to take the video down because they want more money now that the song is doing a lot better than they expected it to. So they think their clients deserve more than the $30 or the $500 that they were initially paid. And so that's where we are right now. Now DDG is going online and talking about how he's being extorted.
Correct. And that's the first thing I was sent. So I learned everything from what he was saying.
And everyone's an unreliable narrator because they all tell their side of a story.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing, man. Things are drastically different, in my opinion, if they bought a lease, even if it's an MP3 lease where he bought it for $30 or whatever it is and then exceeded those streams, you got to redo an agreement. You know, you broke the terms. But in there's usually a publishing split. And if they're smart, there's a master rate in there possibly. Whatever they end up doing. I don't want to get into all that. But at the end of the day, if that is solidified and then those terms were broken, the manager has a right to come back and say, we need to do another deal. I mean, honestly, DDG wanted to do that. But I'm not 100% clear if that is what happened or if they just somehow got the beat and recorded to it and then threw some numbers back and forth and said $500. Yeah, I'm cool with that and my credit. But I don't know if there was ever an agreement put together, man. And I would imagine no. And this is why it makes me think maybe they didn't get a lease, because if there was, I don't think this would be that much of an issue. I think it'd be easier to figure out. It sounds more like, hey, there's no agreement, so yeah, we want $300K.
The producers have spoken on this, though, I believe.
That's who I spoke with, 5K Jordan. Very nice guy.
Okay, so there's D1 and there's 5K Jordan. D1 is managed by a guy named Zach. Zach is a sports agent. D1 posted to his story earlier today, no, I didn't ask for $300K. 5K Jordan, the co-producer, said, he said a bunch of things. One, he said the beat wasn't stolen. Okay. He said Zach is not his manager. He's D1's manager. So basically putting the blame on Zach. He said DDG made counter offers for D1. Matter of fact, let me just share this. This was posted by Roll Tape.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm all about starting high in a negotiation, but...
That's something that somebody said in one of the comments. One of the producers was like, that's how business works. You start high. I'm like, you don't start that high, bro.
People who are saying that don't do deals every day. So I'll tell you that.
Or ever. I would go as far as to say ever. But here's what he says. He says, DDG, these are the producers behind it, so they would know. DDG made counter offers for D1, 2,000 to 5,000. Honestly, 2,000 to 5,000. I would take the 5,000, man. That's
get a couple points, dude. 50% pub, you're cranking. No one registered the song either, bro. That's the other thing.
We need to talk about that too, because
I found out some information, so I can give you some more updates. But
okay,
it's pretty accurate what I said.
So it looks like Zach, the manager, D1's manager, still wanted $300K. Zach has it set up to where if DDG or Max even take the song down, according to his strike, they're admitting to. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you can create that situation. That doesn't seem to make any sense.
The song's up though, by the way, dude. Like I don't know if it's ever been taken down, but I listened to it like 5 times this morning. You know
the song's up, but the music video's got taken down, right?
Oh, the actual music video. Okay, because I've seen a visualizer, I've seen a few things, so I don't know how much that would actually change things a little bit. Because I'm not sure how many views the video, like the real video had, that would be added on. But that actually might have been captured in that Luminate data, to be honest. That could have been what it was, where there's 20
But it's still up on the streaming platforms, though.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. At least they didn't get it completely taken down. But it looks like DDG is pissed. And who knows if he means it, because a lot of people in his situation would do the human thing and just get angry and vent their frustrations to the internet and talk about how I'm going to destroy these people's lives and how I'm done with the song, fuck this song, etc. And that's where he's at right now. I think everybody needs to calm the fuck down in the situation. It's just weird to me that a manager could cause this much trouble on behalf of a client when the client doesn't want the manager to do any of these things that he's doing.
Bro, this is why I said this could be a PR stunt. That's really what I thought it was at first. Like a way to just spark, what happened was everyone's talking about it. Well, at least within our, you know what I mean? The music producer circle and all the different sites and, you know what I mean? Sure. I'm sure some blogs have picked it up. So it could cause a little bit of a social stir, but I'm just like, I really don't think it is.
Well, that's how I felt about that MGK and Trippie Redd situation. Remember that where there was that producer that said the song was going to be trash, and then Trippie Redd and MGK said, all right, you're taking off the project. I interviewed him. We interviewed him on the MEC podcast. And he said a lot of things that made sense, but he also said that it was a PR stunt. There were like elements of reality, but mostly a PR stunt. And he explained why. And so I think, maybe that's what this is. It's pretty smart. I know a lot of people don't like shit like this, but it's kind of genius when you think about it.
Yeah, and if you're dealing with a sports agent, man, who's coming from a world of where they're doing a lot more of this, in my opinion, like they are definitely looking at these types of angles because sports is not just about how you perform on the field or wherever your court, whatever you're playing. I mean, it definitely does, don't get me wrong, but you can market your signees or your clients in a way where you can, get them on the map more. So he could be applying tactics from a PR standpoint. Now, the more I look into this, I do kind of think it's real, but it did cross my mind, man. Because I'm just like, what? 300K? Like, the only other time I hear someone talking about that is when Timberland is on some blog saying, I used to get paid $300,000. You know what I mean? And then people are like in uproar.
Yeah.
This is why we can't get paid what we're worth now. Like, the internet killed everything. Like, and then I'm like, oh, God. This one just stuck out to me. It was much different.
0.0035 per stream average times 25 million. That's about $87,000, a little more. Let's round up to $100,000 in streaming revenue that it's made. I shouldn't be surprised anymore by the shit people say in the comment section. I'm not surprised by anything, man. Fair. I need to get like that because it is just, I did read comments where it was like, yeah, I don't know why rappers are always stealing from producers. Like, even the producers themselves said the beat wasn't stolen, and $5,000 advance is standard, but
300.
Well, they were talking. And one of the producers said it was 5,000. That he offered 5,000.
Oh, okay.
The manager countered
500,000. Got it. My bad.
No, 5,000. He said, and now Zach, who is used to negotiating sports contracts, which are millions and millions of dollars, beats. Yeah, like you said though, selling a beat is not the same as selling your body to the league for 10 years. You sell your body to the league, you're getting millions of dollars. I can make 5 beats in a day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
saying, dude, that like negotiation tactics just changed drastically to me. And if you aren't doing it every day, and listen, I'm speculating, maybe he does do it every day, but my assumption is he doesn't. You could come in a little rough. You think you're like, yeah, this is business. This is how we get shit done, right? It's like, nah, dude, like, you're just kind of setting a precedent that you're not going to be easy to work with, and people are going to avoid you like the plague. And
you're hurting your producers.
And you're hurting your producer, your client.
And I feel bad for the co-producer because he's not even managed by the guy.
No.
And this is why you hear a lot of horror stories about producer collabs where you might collaborate on a song. Like, let's say it's a Kanye song. There might be 6 producers on that song. And there's one producer that's being difficult, or his or her management or their management is being difficult, and it destroys the whole project.
Yeah. This is the perfect case of that, if it's real.
Well, I want to ask you another question, and it's related, but it's for a different song. I was investigating, so obviously the G3 Tweaker track is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you fought for the credit on Spotify to be given to the 2 producers. It's another scenario where 2 producers collabed on a beat, the song goes crazy, and and I'm thinking, the Ball Brothers recorded it over Veloco. They probably didn't even know who the producers were. It just slipped.
That's actually not 100% accurate.
Okay. What? Yeah. Tell me the truth.
Yeah, they got the beat through. There was a lot of confusion because first of all, producers are from Russia. Great guys, are originally from Russia. I don't know, where they're at exactly at this point, but great guys. So I got the story from them, and then I was able to link with someone from Leangelo's team, and so you hear different things. So basically, from what I gathered is, somebody from their team was on Veloco, who's an avid Veloco and BeatStars user. They're an artist themselves. They were looking for beats. They found some beats and they sent them to Leangelo. Leangelo loved, obviously, the Tweaker beat, recorded it, I guess, at his home studio or wherever he was. And that's kind of how everything went down. And that's really it, dude. It was just a very simple thing. Yeah. Someone found the beat. They were looking for who was it? NBA Youngboy type beats and drop top.
That makes sense.
Added onto it. Yeah, so like interesting. But definitely, I could see the description. So they knew what they were looking for. But that's kind of how it all went down, from what I have been told and, have seen. And then obviously you can get the beat from Veloco. Like, it's integrated through BeatStars, so they're able to get it then through the platform. But yeah, it pretty much started within the platforms, which is pretty cool.
I'm assuming that they sold that beat exclusively via Def Jam now that there's that sign.
Yeah. Absolutely. So once they did their deal, we worked with that team over there to get it done as quickly as possible. And that's where the credit thing came from, man. Listen, I don't think anybody did that
on purpose,
out of spite or like to do it on purpose, because you have to remember this record was originally distributed through DistroKid. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when they were uploading it gets a little bit confusing, man, sometimes when you're adding credits and stuff. I've even struggled with it over the years when I've used them in the past. So I think they just missed it, and maybe they didn't even know their names. And that's possible. They just got the beat and just listen. It happens. They're newer artists, man. You got to remember this. Like, yeah, everyone knows their names, but the dude's a new artist, so there's a learning curve. So once that was addressed, and then obviously the song and the deal is now with Def Jam, we were able to talk to them and get it updated. And this stuff isn't instant, but it got done pretty quickly, man.
So last question, what should producers learn from this DDG Pink Dread situation?
I've been hit up in the last week by at least 5 to 6 people, some pub members with us, some not, and saying like, hey, I got a new manager and they're telling me I should hold on to my records and try to get a bigger deal. I have people who signed here who say, hey, I may want to terminate when my deal's up in 6 months because I want to go try to get this bigger deal. And I actually made a video about it recently because I got hit up by so many people about it, explaining what they really should be looking at and not just taking blind advice. Be extremely careful who you're putting in place as your manager, because those people, if you don't fully entrust in them and have a track record with them, and they've proven their worth and provided their value to you, dude, they could kill your career in a snap. And I'm not saying this as a scare tactic. There's a lot of amazing managers and people out there, but you have to make sure that you understand what their job is, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. If you are against, in this specific situation, against saying, give me $300K and making this an issue, then you as the client, dude, at the end of the day, your manager's serving you. You are paying him revenue out of your pocket. You need to step in and say, no, this is what I want. I can give people advice all day. I'm not a manager on a day-to-day, but dude, I talk to so many members and give them so much advice. It's always just recommendations. And at the end of the day, if I'm like, do not do this. Like, I have people sometimes like, oh, I need to do this buyout because I just need that extra little bit of money. I'm like, God, please. I can't force them not to do it, man, because at the end of the day, it's their ownership and they can choose to do that. Just know that you have the power as the creator. If someone's working for you, just know who's representing you. And I'm not saying this manager guy is a bad person. I don't know him. All I know is that he does sports and he's now doing something that is just not normal. I don't know. It's just maybe, I mean, I get it. Let's set a precedent. But it's like, I don't think you need to do all that to set a precedent. I feel like I set a pretty solid precedent and I've never asked someone for $300K. I think you've set a pretty solid precedent and never done it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I'm changing it now. All my beat leases from now on are $300,000.
That's what I'm saying, man. I saw. Did you see the screenshot too, where he said, or somebody said, I don't know how these screenshots got out, but it was just like, it's just business, man. Like, this is how it goes. Like,
yeah, and that's not how it goes.
It's like, man, like I really do get like the angle and the perspective of like where they're trying to come from, but it's just the delivery was just not it. You know what I mean? Like, dude, yeah, this is just business. And I talk about this all the time. Put your emotions and passion into the music. Do not be emotional about the business side. And this is where a lot of people get it messed up. They take everything so personally. So I agree with him. It is the business, but it's not the way most 99.9% of people are moving. And I don't think it's a positive thing to move that way. I think it's just causing more friction. You see, man, everybody's arguing and people are like,
yeah, no, I mean, from the outside looking in, I think they all need to just calm down and put their heads together and really figure this out. And this is all unfolding within hours, not even days, hours. And it's unfortunate that people are already choosing the nuclear option. So hopefully things get resolved. And I appreciate what you do for producers and clarifying this. And shout out to Producer Culture because they've really been putting out some amazing content lately. Shout out to you for doing what you do.
Yeah, good dudes over there.
Appreciate the clarity.
My man.